main thing on and off the field that applies, that what Coach Saban always preaches every single year that everybody knows is, repeating the process, trust the process. In life, there's always going to be something that comes up that's going to be difficult. You got to trust the process. You got to trust the way that you've been raised, the things that you've done to get where you're at. And on the football field, the same way. Every year it's a new year. There's always going to be something different, new injury or, a new stepping stone that you got to try to achieve in your career. And, they always go back to trusting the process. Yeah, so getting ready for, Alabama National Championship game, being in one personally, knowing how the locker room's feeling. And, unfortunately being part of, the past championships that Alabama's had, as soon as I come in the locker room, I can tell when the guys are ready. Nobody's talking, everybody's mentally focused. When everybody starts to do the warm-up, Cochran's getting everybody crunk. Then, once they step on the field, it's most of the time it's pure dominance. And, it's been rare where we've been down in the championship game. So, it was great to see the guys fight back, and go through that adversity. And like I said about the process part, fighting that adversity and coming back in the way they did in overtime, just shows gratitude of, guys believing in the system and, trusting in each other. As, the way that they came back and won the game. They always let the former players go on the sideline for the championship game. So it was a great feeling. So just being at all the championship games, and still being part of greatness. That's every time they win, I just definitely feel like I won. So I really thought about buying the championship ring this year because that's how great the game was. The standard and the expectation for anybody that comes here is high. And you can hear Coach Saban say it anyway. One of the things I always remember my freshman year, I was like still kind of learning everything. It was the first couple games of the season. And I said to myself, like, man, if I mess up, he won't be that big of a deal because I'm a freshman. Then, how God works. The next day at practice, one of the seniors messed up and he was like, I'm gonna coach everybody just like you're a senior. I'm coaching everybody the same. And from that point on, I kind of had that mindset. No matter like what position I'm at or how old I am, I gotta live up to the Alabama standard. I chose Alabama because one, I want to be a part of a great organization, be a part of a school that once I'm done with football, whether I would have made it to the NFL or not, that will have great resources for me as a man to provide for my family. And that was just, the school part about it. But, it's this one school called Auburn. When I was getting recruited there, at the end, when I got down my last two teams, it was between Alabama and Auburn. So I was really heavy about where I wanted to go. And, one of the coaches said, well, let's look at our roster, see the linebackers here. And look at these guys. They got Dante Hightower, they got Nico Johnson. They just had a couple more players. He said, you can come here, you can start. So, unfortunately for him, that backfired. Cause I was like, wow, I don't want to coach somewhere where they just give me a position. I want to play with the best of the best. And obviously, Alabama definitely had some of the best players at linebacker. So I was like, well, if I can prove myself to start for Alabama with these type of players, I can definitely make it. So that was another one of the key factors in me going. After you're done with football, or you're getting ready for the draft, or you already currently in the NFL, the resources here, with the training staff, the facility, the coaches, especially for me, it's gratitude because I've had multiple injuries since I've been in the NFL, and I've done a lot of my rehab here, with Jeff and with Dr. Kane and everybody here, with the part of the staff. Dr. Robinson, if I get sick, I go up and go to see him. So just being around them, just like I said, it's just a extended family. I can always come back here, be welcome and feel at home, be a part of all this accessories because, you don't have all this in the NFL. So, but yeah, and being with Coach Saban too, he welcomes everybody back. I was just on the practice field, it's just great to be back. Seeing all this new stuff, proud, because we like the guys before me that won the 09 and, the 07, 08 team that pretty much built up, kind of started the whole thing. They put in their stepping stone, and now, when I was here in 2010, 2013, we won our couple championship games, SEC championship. We kind of, we built a little bit of this, but you see, what we did the 4 or 5 years that I've been gone, and they deserve this as much as we did. So, like I said, we come back here all the time, and see this, and it just, it's a blessing for us and for everybody that's part of this. Well, what Nick Saban means to C.J. Mosley is loyalty. You know, when he first came to my house, you know, he knew everything about me, knew about my grades, he knew about my parents. So, you know, for anybody to come in your house that you let in your house and, you know, they know everything about you, that says a lot. And, you know, pretty much from that point on, like I knew I wanted to come to Alabama because I knew what kind of man he was. And the same thing that he told me, you know, when he came to my house, when I came to visit here, you know, he still had this little paper, you know, he had everything jotted down. So he always paid attention. He always wanted the best for the person and, you know, not just the football player part. Because no matter what, would you get injured, you know, whether the guy's doing bad at school, he's gonna always do his best to make sure you're right as a person before the football player. So for me, the loyalty thing is what really mattered most to me about Coach Saban.